Okay, so first, start out telling me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, kind of just a little background about you and your life and your family.
So I grew up in Switzerland in the German part. It's pretty close to Zurich. And I have a sister who also plays tennis, which she was always really my big role model. Um, but yeah, I mainly grew up there. I did move to Florida for like a few years when I was 9 years old, and that's actually when I started playing tennis.
Oh, cool. How did you get into tennis when you were in Florida? How did that all start?
So my sister was playing at an academy there, and I was just kind of taking dance classes, doing, other things, taking gymnastics. But I always disliked tennis because of her, I think, because it was such a big thing in our family. But honestly, the reason I started was because I always saw her wearing really cute dresses. And I told my parents, I want to wear cute dresses too. And so I think that was like the main reason why I started. But for sure, like really fast on, it became a huge passion of mine. Yeah.
And how old were you when you started playing tennis?
I was 9 years old.
Very nice. Can you explain to me just a little bit of like what your tennis career has looked like leading you up to where you are now?
Okay. So I did start a little late. Like 9 is usually later than a lot of my fellow tennis players at home started with. But quickly on, I started playing kind of big tournaments already because my sister was already in it. So my parents just kind of dragged me along with it. And we moved back to Switzerland like when I was 11, I think. And that's also when my dad became our coach for both of us. And so leading up to that, I was just coached by him. And again, I was playing mostly in Switzerland. I played some like junior tournaments outside. But I kind of just went with a lot of tournaments that my sister was playing because it was easier for my parents. And so I was already playing big tournaments that were not necessarily my level, but it was good because I learned how to play against tough players from early on. And yeah, was top in Switzerland from basically the time when I came back from Florida. Was always in like number 1, 2, 3 in my age. And then when I came here, I think my highest ranking was like 45 in all Swiss women's tennis players. So yeah, then when I was 17, came here to Utah State and have been here since then.
How did you end up here at Utah State? It's kind of a random place coming from Switzerland.
It is. It's crazy once you go into the pool of like, being recruited by all these colleges. It's like crazy how they come from all places. So I had offers from like many different places, but ended up really liking the coach here, the team here. After like talking to him for a really long time. And then obviously like Utah is very different, so did a lot of research on that. People were all like, "Oh, you're going to Utah?" Like they were all very surprised about it. But honestly, at the end of the day, I just really liked the team, the coach. I loved the campus. But I unfortunately couldn't go on any visits because it was during COVID time.
Oh, that is really
So
hard.
it was really like a heart decision for me.
Yeah, that was really just a lot of trust being put into that.
It was.
Impressed. That's really cool. So did you kind of know you wanted to come to America? Was that kind of where you were looking, or were you just kind of open to whatever?
No, so my plan was always going pro. I never even wanted to go to college necessarily, because in Switzerland you can also do the route of like you work and you get a degree.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to go to school for that long, but then COVID happened and it was really hard to like get into the big tournaments. So in that moment, it was just like making a decision. I also kind of wanted to leave home for a little bit and like be more independent. And so it was not anything I wanted until like a half year before I came. And that's when I decided on coming here. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
So you started in 2020 here at Utah State.
2020, exactly, in the fall. Yeah.
So you're graduating in the spring. Do you have any idea kind of where life is going to take you after you graduate?
It's a good question. Everyone's been asking me that.
I get the question all the time, too. I get it.
I don't know yet. I might do, I for sure have a year of OPT, which is optional practice training. It's what it's called for us international students. So you for sure will have your visa for one more year and you can work. But then after that, it's pretty hard to find a visa because you got to get it sponsored. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go home. That's something I'll be deciding in the next few months, actually. But yeah, right now I don't really know. I wouldn't mind staying here for a few more years because I do really like it in the U.S. But at some point, for sure, go back home where my family is.
And then are you planning on going forward in your tennis career?
That's also something I've been thinking about more in the summer. As of now, I'm not really planning on doing that, mostly because also my body is a little
You
old.
are wearing a boot right now.
I am kind of injured right now. So it also kind of depends how I end up this season, like if I'm feeling good body-wise or not. But I wouldn't think it's the worst thing to just try and go pro for a little bit because why not? What do I have to lose?
Yeah, exactly. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose? So basically, we have the Spring Sports magazine, and we have different players from all the different teams. Why do you think you were the one that was recommended from the women's tennis team for me to talk to today?
I think probably because, I'm one of the top players in our team, and I have been for the last 3 years now. So probably because of that, I'm a senior. But yeah, definitely, I think, I've also known our coach for a very long time. She's been here with me for 4 years. I'm the player on the team right now that's been here for the longest. So I would guess maybe because of that.
Yeah. I was told you take kind of a leadership role within the team. What's that kind of like? And is that something you do on purpose or that just kind of happens?
I have to say this is my first year where it has happened because I've had the same seniors for the past couple of years because they had COVID year and some redshirted. So this was the first year where it was like, oh, Lisa's has to take on some leadership. But yeah, it's been interesting. I've really enjoyed it. It's really fun. Also, like trying to give the new players, the freshmen, a good feeling of like being calm because I remember it like yesterday when I was a freshman and I was really nervous about everything. But it is a tough role for sure. Like I've had to adapt and I've had to learn, how to have those talks with them and how to communicate better. But it's been fun. It's been kind of nice.
And then are there other international players on the tennis team? I heard it's kind of a common thing more for tennis.
Yes. Yeah, we have quite a bit of internationals. This year we have a few girls from Mexico, 4 in total.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 4 in total. Zay, who's also like one of the leaders, she's actually a 5th year. She's from Turkey. Then we have a girl, India. She's American, but she's also Dutch.
Oh, cool.
So we have quite a bit of internationals. We have actually kind of more Americans this year than compared to other years, but it's been a lot of internationals. Yeah, tennis is really big for that.
Yeah, that was really cool. And so how many girls are on the team?
We have 11 players this year, which is a lot.
That was a big team. Yeah.
It's the biggest it's been in a while, I think, or since I've been here.
So I know you guys kind of finished up your fall play and your real season starts in spring. Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys did in the fall and how you feel going into the spring season now?
Well, fall is more individual, so it's not necessarily team results as much like as in spring. But I think overall it went pretty well. I was pretty happy with myself. It was for sure better than last fall where I didn't do as well. But overall, the team, I think, did pretty well. We had a few people that reached quarterfinals and regionals and stuff like that. So it was nice. Some freshmen got far in tournaments, which is always cool to see. And then spring, we're all very excited for because that's basically what we work for mainly. And it's always like a long time coming. But I think we're really ready. I'm really excited for it. We have a fresh new team, which is always fun because you never know what to expect, but also it's new opportunities. So I'm really excited for it.
That's really cool. Yeah. Sorry, I have to look at like what questions I have. So you kind of started into tennis because your sister was doing it, but what kind of kept you doing? Why do you love tennis? Why have you stuck with it this long?
I think I'm a very competitive person. Like, my whole family is very competitive. You do not want to see game night at our house if somebody gets pissed off. But, I think it's just because I'm very competitive, and I love the fight of it. Like, and then just the reward that you get after, it's just an amazing feeling. And to me, it's really like an outlet. Like whenever I'm not feeling good, I'm sad about something, I miss home, like tennis just kind of makes me shut off my mind. And it's just, yeah, it's just love for me, honestly. And yeah, I'm gonna miss it once I stop for sure. I'm gonna have to find something else to do.
You can still play for fun.
I could, yeah. I mean, that's a nice thing about tennis. You can play it until you're older.
You can go whenever you want.
Yeah.
So do you have like a favorite memory or experience of something that happened since you've been on the team here at Utah State that you could share? It could be a couple.
That's a difficult one because there's been obviously a lot of, amazing moments. But one that is on top of my head right now is last year when we won against Colorado State. We were in Boise playing, and it was just, they were a ranked team at that point, and we were not doing that great in the season. So it was just like a big win. I also clinched the match, which was a very cool feeling. Everyone, like there's a video, everyone came running towards me when I won that match point. And so it was just like a very exciting match. My dad was also there. He flew in from Switzerland. So it was just, I think that's like one of my most favorite moments.
Yeah, so you said your dad was kind of your coach as you played growing up. Has that been weird, been playing without him these past couple years?
I think at first it was for sure. It was also an adaptment for the first time in basically my whole tennis career to have a different coach. But I think I quickly adapted to it. I don't know if he did. I think for him it was hard too, but I do think it was also like the right moment for me to kind of spread my wings, let go of him. But like now we still go play sometimes and stuff like that. So he's rooting for me to come back to tennis and go pro after this because he wants to be my coach again.
Yeah. How was it having your dad also being your coach? I'm sure that would be an interesting experience growing up.
It was a lot. It was not always just sunshine and nice. Like I have to say my relationship with my dad for sure got better when I came to college, because it's just hard, making a switch between having him as your dad and then having him as your coach, because he always wanted the best for us. And then it was also my sister was there. So it was, tennis all the time at home, all we talked about. So it was difficult, but it was for sure also very rewarding. Like it also made us grow very close, not only with him, but just as a family. So I liked it. There was some rough moments, but overall good.
What did your mom kind of do while the rest of you were just tennis all the time?
So my mom was like mostly our manager, I would say. She would book all of our tournaments, all of our hotels, all of our flights. She would do all of that type of stuff. And she was more like, he was the coach for learning the technique, practicing, and she was very good at coaching when it came to tournaments. So they kind of switched off who would travel with us. So sometimes it would be like my mom traveling more with my sister and my dad would be home with me. So she was very much involved, just more in like the background, I guess. So also very much into tennis.
But I think she'd have to be at that point. Yeah. And then your sister, did she keep playing tennis or what?
Yeah, she's still playing. She was actually 2 years ago, she was 150 in the world, WTA. Oh, wow. So 2 years ago when I came back, I went to US Open to watch her, which was cool, like coming cool. Before here, yeah. So yeah, she's still playing. She kind of fell back a little bit in her ranking, had a rough time, but she's still going. I don't know if I'll see her much this winter break because she's always traveling.
It's really cool. Mm-hmm. And then do your parents, you said your dad was at the Colorado State one, have they come out to a few, or is that kind of the only one? Do you see them?
So it was really tough when I came here to get into the country as an international.
I was trying that same year to get out of U.S. into Germany, so I get that. It was not fun.
It was so difficult. So I just, 3 weeks before I had my flight, I didn't know if I was going to be able to come. And so my first year, I thought nobody was going to be able to come. But then my dad and my sister ended up playing a tournament in the spring season, which our season was kind of there, but not really there. And so they were able to fly to the US, and I was able to see them for like 3 days. That was it. But I was happy. And then since then, they haven't visited much. My sister hasn't been able to come, unfortunately, but I hope she's coming for graduation. But my dad and my mom were here last year in November around this time, which was very, very nice. And
That's
then,
fun.
like I said, my dad came, but he was actually here for like a whole month. So he was really here to support. And I think he might do the same again, because also my coaches always love him joining in the practices, you know.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because, he's very opinionated.
So is his background in tennis, kind of?
No background.
Oh, he just decided to start coaching you guys one day?
Yes. He was a soccer player, and he grew up on a farm, so he always has loved farming. He also studied vet, so animal, whatever it's called, veterinary science.
Veterinary science.
Yeah.
I forgot the word for a second.
Yeah,
too.
me too. So he studied that, but tennis was just, he loves sport in general, and he's a very smart person, so he basically just read online, read books, watched videos. He literally taught himself and made 2 daughters that both can play really good tennis.
That's
So,
awesome. I
yeah.
think that's really cool. That's
he has no
impressive.
background, but now he's obsessed with it. Even now that we're both kind of out of the house, he's still playing. Loves it.
Okay, that's so fun. Really funny.
Yeah.
So I think what I read is you grew up being homeschooled, right? Because of the tennis tournament stuff. What was that kind of like for you?
So after we came back from Florida is when I was homeschooled, because it was just easier playing tennis, because Switzerland is very much on education and that only. So you can't really do a sport next to it, especially a sport that requires a lot of traveling. So my parents decided to homeschool both of us, because they wanted us to at least get the high school degree so that we could go to college or do whatever with our life if you get injured or something. But it was interesting. I think at the beginning it was really hard learning how to teach yourself how to do stuff, how to learn stuff. And I have to say I was a little nervous coming to college, like, oh, how will I do now? But then obviously it was also COVID, so I had a lot of online classes, and I actually loved it, because even now I talk to my teammates, they do not like online classes, and I love it.
Hate online classes.
I love it. But that's just because I'm so used to it. But it was nice, but also it was definitely hard to like socialize and stuff like that. I definitely had to kind of find my way back into friend groups and stuff like that, because they still went to school like normal people, I guess. But because it's not very common there. Here it's way more common to be homeschooled, and at home nobody does it.
Yeah,
So.
I've at least in my experience in Germany, I don't think I ever met
Ever.
anyone who
Nobody.
was
Whenever I would
homeschooled.
say that, they would be kind of like, how does that work and everything. But no, it definitely also, made me more independent and ready for this, I guess.
Yeah, did you have like friends or community within tennis, or how did that kind of work?
I did, but since we were, coached by our dad, we were not in an academy or anything. So a lot of my tennis friends, they had friends from just being in academy, practicing all the time together. But for me, it was like my sister was like my only tennis friend, I guess. But I mostly had just friends from home that I still have. It's crazy. We kind of just stuck through it, like since first grade, even after moving to Florida, we Skyped and all this stuff. So yeah, I mostly just have my friends from home that actually don't have anything to do with tennis, but I wouldn't change it, because it's really nice to just talk about other things.
Yeah, I'm sure it sounds like tennis has kind of been your whole life
Yeah.
for a while, so
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be nice to have other things to talk about. So over these past 4 years that you've been here at USU, how are some ways that you've seen yourself grow as a player, but also as a person?
There's many different ways. I would say I'm a completely different person than what I was when I came here. I mean, I was 17 years old, not even 18. I was like a little girl, not knowing what was going to happen. And now I'm turning 21 this week. So
That's exciting.
yes, very exciting. So I would say just in general, like as a player, developed a lot. Like I had a really rough freshman year when it came to mentally and physically. Everything was just kind of like a big change. So definitely after freshman year, I leveled up a lot when it came to my tennis. Also, like mental toughness, you really learn here in college when you're playing, college tennis, because everyone's so tough. It's actually crazy. And then mentally, I've grown so much. Like, I now have learned how to be alone, which is a crazy thing. Like, I never knew I needed that until I had to have it. And like, I don't know, I just feel like now I could go through anything in life and I'm ready for it. And I'm really thankful for having, this opportunity to learn that here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it like kind of balancing being a student athlete, coming from being homeschooled where you kind of had the flexibility with that, and now coming and having to balance school with all of that on your own?
It's definitely tough, but as long as you plan good, which the seniors always told me my freshman year, plan good, and you'll be fine. It's definitely adaptment because, I mean, we miss a lot of class too for traveling, and so it can just be kind of like difficult managing, trying to catch up. Talking to your professors is something that you need to learn to do, because having a good relationship and actually communicating with them is always important. So it was definitely a big change, but if you're really organized, if you make sure you know your plan, when you need to do your homework and everything, it's okay. And it just depends on times. Like, fall semester is always a little easier, and then spring gets really tough because we travel every weekend. So time management is key.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then do you play singles? Do you have a doubles partner? How does that kind of work within the team? I'm not really familiar. I know tennis pretty well, but I don't know how college tennis
Yeah,
operates.
no, a lot of people ask me, like, do you play singles or doubles? So I personally play both, or I have played both in the past years. I actually broke a school record last semester with somebody else in doubles. For the most doubles wins in a season. So that was pretty cool. But
that's super cool.
Yeah, and I had like the same doubles partner over the whole semester, which was obviously beneficial, and we were really good together. She's back, or she's not back in Australia. She's from Australia, but she's back in England now. So right now I don't have a specific doubles partner yet. I played a lot with Zay this fall, but we're still figuring that out, who I'll play with. One of the new people probably. But I play both. I enjoy both. Both is different and fun to me.
Yeah, I'm sure, at least I just grew up playing like tennis for fun and stuff, but I feel like singles and doubles is like a very different thing.
It's really fun having someone on the court in doubles because you can go through it together, and for once you're not alone, because singles you're always alone. You making decisions, you winning, and everything is just you. But yeah, it's really fun too.
So growing up, did you ever play doubles at all?
Less for sure, but I did play doubles. Usually in the ITF tournaments, the international tournaments, you would like play singles and then you would find yourself a doubles partner. But it would always be a different doubles partner, so it would always kind of, be not as good, I guess. So I definitely, that's one thing tennis-wise I learned how to do is play doubles, because you really learn that here, and I don't think I really knew how to play doubles before I came here. I thought I did, but I guess not.
Yeah, and I know we talked about this a little bit before, but you're going into public relations, or that's what you're studying.
Yes.
Do you have any idea? There's a wide range of where public relations can take you, where you kind of want to go in that career.
Here, if I stay here, I think I would love to work with a sports team. Would be really fun, obviously, just also coming from, all the athletics. So, I would love to be in Salt Lake and work with a sports team there, for example. But that's also a big dream. Who knows? If I go home, I think I would go more into like working with an agency or something at home, or just with a company itself, because just sports is not as big there, or not like here, I guess. So it would depend where I'm going and what job I get.
And how have you liked it here in Utah? How's it compare kind of being in Switzerland? How's your experience been?
I like it. It was hard adapting because it's very different to home. It's similar but different. But now that I'm here, I really enjoy it. Like, it's just everyone's really nice here. I love the weather because it's actually cold but sunny all the time in the winter, whereas at home it's like it rains a
gets
lot.
so dark in the
Yeah,
winter.
it's always dark, and here it's like there's beautiful days even when it just snowed. So I've actually, Utah really grew close to my heart, and I think it'll always be a place that I come back and visit. Yeah.
That's fun. Good old Utah.
Yeah.
So, what has kind of been the hardest thing in your career here at USU?
The hardest thing, I think it's just the hardest thing overall that I've been through was my freshman year. Like I said, it was really tough for me. Just, coming from home, all of a sudden being alone. And then it was COVID time, so like we had to wear masks everywhere, and we didn't have any of like the fun events that I see now that freshmen have. We did not have those, and so if you don't have any friends here, it's really hard to even make them. And so I struggled with that a lot. And then also I had never been injured before college, and then I had stress fractures in my foot my freshman year, after like 3 weeks of practice, and I was out for the rest of the fall. So that was very difficult for me mentally too, because my identity, I guess, was always being a tennis player. But that's the moment I also grew a lot, is like realizing that that's just not the only thing that I have to offer. That's me, I guess, that I have a lot of other things. And so I would just say freshman year was difficult, but since then, I think sometimes it's difficult, being in a team, being with them every day and stuff like that. Like, you have to really learn how to communicate with each other and like how to get along with different personalities. But other than that, since then, I haven't really had anything that's too difficult, except playing my matches sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what did kind of the tennis season look like that freshman year during COVID and all of that?
So we didn't have a fall season at all. So we played our own like tournaments. We went to ITA tournaments and played against just normal players that didn't go to university or anything like that. And so we went down to Salt Lake a few weekends to play. Well, I was watching, but everyone else was playing. And then in the spring, we were able to start off, but like our first few matches, there were even some matches where they wanted to make us like play with masks on. So it was kind of, it was a little crazy at first. And then everyone, there was always someone that had to quarantine again. So you had to be really careful about even hanging out with people and stuff, because our coaches, wanted us to be able to travel. And so we had like a regular season, but we didn't end up having a tournament. And so my sophomore year was very interesting, having, for the first time actually experiencing a Mountain West championship tournament, because I didn't have it my freshman year. But yeah, that's basically how the season went. It was a little different.
Yeah, I'm
than
sure
usual.
that
Yeah.
would have been interesting.
Yeah.
What has kind of has there been like just a funny moment that has happened within the team or something that you kind of just look back on, kind of entertaining? Somebody did something stupid, I don't know, something funny.
Funny moment. There's so many funny moments. Like, I sometimes think there should be like a reality TV show about us. Like, actually, it's difficult to answer, because I'm telling you, there's always something funny happening. Like, this morning we had conditioning at, 6:30 in the morning, and we were all laughing so hard because our strength coach, she did some testing with everyone, and we were throwing balls, and it was just one of the girls was making really funny noise while throwing the ball, and it literally landed like right behind her. It didn't even fly very far, and I have it on video. Everyone died laughing. So there's always something to laugh about. Like, there's not one specific moment, because it's always really funny, even with the coaches sometimes. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, and then have you gone along well with the team throughout the past couple years? Made good friends there?
Yes, I think I for sure have. I mean, there's been some players, that transfer, and then you don't really have that much, like, contact with them anymore. But there's for sure, like, I'm going to Salt Lake to see one of my old teammates that graduated last year, and I'm still hanging out with them. And then I just grabbed dinner a few nights ago with a girl that was on the team my freshman year. So for sure, I've made a lot of connections, and I got along with the team really well. Especially this year so far, I already feel like we all have very good chemistry together, and we're very different, but it always works out. We never really fight or anything, so for sure it's been pretty good overall.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
what I like to hear. I'm glad
Yeah.
you guys get along. Especially
Yeah.
because you all come from such different
Mhm.
places, too.
I think, yeah, it's just important to, at the end of the day, you just communicate and talk about it, because there's always going to be some type of issue. I mean, we're all human, you know, and everyone sometimes brings something into practice, or they're upset or something like that. But as long as we all talk, it's good.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your coaches and just your relationship with them? I know you mentioned that's like the big reason you came here. You hadn't even seen Logan.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So, my old head coach, he actually retired last year, or this year, I guess. And so my assistant coach, she's now our head coach. And I think I had a rough start with her a little bit, which might have just also been because I had a rough freshman year personally. So, you know, it's difficult to then open up to people. But I think I have a very good relationship with her. Like, it's very, you know, like fond, and I really trust her, and I think she trusts me because we've known each other for a while. And then our new assistant coach, Colt, he is very new, so I've only known him for this semester, but I already get along really well with him. Like, he's a very nice guy, and I think he really fits into just the whole team dynamic overall. He's very young too, so he's close in our age, which can be like a good thing. Like, we're always vibing in the car to the same like songs, old songs that we love. But yeah, I think I have a very good relationship with my coaches, and I really like them, really trust them. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm really glad.
Yeah.
I've heard some horror stories of other people not liking
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, I think those are all the big questions I have. We just have a couple like random get to know you questions I like to ask you. I might add in my own for fun. But what is your favorite flavor of Aggie ice cream?
Ooh. What is it called? It's like, it has fudge in it and then cookies and cream. It's like a fudge brownie cookies and cream, but I don't know what the name
it
is.
like the fudge. Let's look up Aggie ice cream.
Yeah, can you
flavors.
look that up actually?
I can probably.
You're going to make me crave that now.
They just opened up the new Aggie ice
Yeah,
cream at Blue
at
Square,
Blue
and I
Square.
live at Stadium Crossing, like right down
No
the
way.
street, and so it's a really dangerous thing. Especially on
Yeah.
Monday, like they had this deal of like 99-cent mini scoops, and I was like, my roommate's like,
Do
we're
they have
going.
that often?
I don't know. It's like this happy hour thing they're doing, like on
Oh.
Mondays or something. But
No, because I have an electric car, so sometimes I charge it at Blue Square.
is it
and
the
then-
Cookie Fudge Ripple? Is it this one?
Yes, that
Okay,
one.
Cookie
Okay.
Fudge Ripple.
Cookie Fudge Ripple. That's my
Right.
favorite.
Right.
It's actually a shame that I don't know that name since I like it so
I
much.
actually just had that one for the first
Yeah?
time this week, and I
It's
really like
so
it.
good. It's like a perfect combination between, you know, Oreos and
Yeah,
fudge.
it's
brownie,
it's a
whatever.
good- It's a good mix of different things.
Yeah.
If you were to play a different sport that wasn't tennis, what sport would you play?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. So growing up, I loved gymnastics, but I don't think that's something I would have done, you know, for a long time because it's not very good for your body either. But I think if I would have been in Switzerland, then for sure I would have played soccer, or how we call it, football.
Football, yeah.
Or
Fußball.
yeah, Fußball. Or I think if I would have been here, basketball, because I
Okay.
love basketball. I love watching basketball. I love playing it. I'm just not very good at it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like, also watching USC basketball is one of my favorite things.
It's so fun.
So
I
fun.
love basketball.
I love that it's back in season.
I know. I'm so excited. Do you have like a sports idol or role model that you look up to in tennis or whatever?
In tennis.
Or just in sports, someone that you look up to.
I mean, I used to always look up to my sister, and I would always answer that, and I still do. I think she's, you know, a very hardworking person. But if I would have to pick someone that's like very famous, I think I would say Kyrgios, which a lot of people don't like him.
Can you spell that for me?
His first name is Nick, and then Kyrgios.
Okay.
Kyrgios, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, there's very mixed feelings about him, I think, but I think he has so much talent in tennis, and even if he doesn't try on court, he still is so good. And I think it's really cool that he just embraces who he is and plays how he wants to play, even though some people don't like him. It's really fun.
That's a good way to be, I think.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Logan or about Utah as a whole?
I think overall how nice people are here, but that might also be because I'm from Switzerland.
Oh my gosh.
If I'm being honest, just in general, people in the U.S. are just way nicer than
I get it.
at home. So definitely that. But here in Logan specifically, I just love the weather. Like, even
I
though...
think you were the only person who would ever say that about
Really?
Logan, Utah.
But I don't know. I think it's just because Logan, Utah is like basically like when you go to St. Moritz in Switzerland, which is an amazing skiing place. And like that's how the weather is there. But then everywhere lower, because we're so high up here, everywhere lower is just kind of rainy and dark. So I think because of that. Would I live in Logan forever in the cold? Probably not. But that's something I like about
Especially
Logan.
after last winter. I don't know.
I'm actually a little scared because last winter was crazy. And the people, my teammates that came last year, they're so scared because they think that's normal. And I was like, I mean, I've only been here for 4 years, but that is not normal, I'm telling you.
Yeah, the fact that it was like finals week and we still
We
had
were
snow
still
going,
snowing.
it was
Everyone
so
was trying to
bad.
take graduation pics and it was still
was
snowing.
So sad.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what is your least favorite thing about Logan or Utah?
I think Logan, just in general, that there's sometimes not a lot to do. Like, it can get a little boring, if I'm being honest. But I definitely think it's grown a lot. Like, compared to my freshman year, wow, there's so many more stores,
for
coffee
sure.
shops, all this, these cool places. But still, like, there should be somewhere we could go out or something like that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But
And then I just have a couple more random questions. So, what type of music do you listen to? Do you have a couple favorite artists?
I'm a pretty big hip-hop, rap girly.
Okay.
I love that. I do like my pop, but let's say I like Drake. I like Travis Scott. Just anything in the rap, hip-hop genre, I will listen to.
That's fun.
Yes.
See, I don't really listen to that, so that's
And then there's also the part of me that loves German music.
Okay.
But I can't, I mean, I do listen to it here, but I have to say I listen to it less because I always have people in my car that, don't understand it.
Yeah,
But
that
one
makes sense.
one artist there is Apache, 207, best one.
What is that? I can look that up. I can listen to that.
Apache, and then 207. He's a big one right now.
Okay.
He's really good.
I'll have to look him up because I can listen to that.
You
I'll
should.
get it.
You should. Let me know how
I
you
need to
like
listen to more German music. It would help me keep it
Yeah,
up,
actually.
so.
And his German is really good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And then, what's like your favorite TV show and your favorite movie?
Ooh, I'm not a very big TV
Okay.
or movie watcher. So a movie, I don't think I could. I recently watched Oppenheimer and I thought it was pretty cool.
That was cool.
But, it was also more like educational, cool. So I would say that is right now one that I would watch again. And then TV show, I love The Blacklist. That's one
Okay.
thing I always binge watched with my sister and my mom. And now they do it without me, but it's okay. Yeah, I would say my favorite.
Very cool. And then, do you read books? You said you don't do. What's your favorite book?
I actually just started reading again in the summer, and favorite book. I watched
Or like
read.
current favorite, like recent.
Yeah, I currently read the Ravenhood like series of books,
Okay.
and it was interesting. It was different, but I liked it. But yeah, I'm not a huge reader, but I've been starting to get into it more, and I bought a Kindle and everything.
Oh,
so
wow. So that's a big step.
yeah, it's actually a goal to read more again, because when school gets crazy, I stop reading.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Because I'm so occupied with school, or then I want to do something different, not look into words,
Yeah.
not see words all the time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.